What's going on, you guys? It is Derek from mancaveretreat.com, and today I have an interesting one for you. But before we get into that, if this is your first time seeing my stuff, welcome. Like I said, my name is Derek. I run a website called mancaveretreat.com and this YouTube channel, basically talking about giving suggestions, tips, whatever for building a man cave that is authentic to who you are. I built a man cave from scratch, and there were so many questions I had, so many answers I could not find. So here I am. Hopefully, I help somebody out there. That's at the end of the day, that's all I want to do. But all right, let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be talking about a subject that a lot of people just completely avoid when building a man cave. And that's a huge mistake. So kudos for clicking on the link and getting here. Today we're going to be talking about budgeting when it comes to man caves, and what that looks like. When I say have a budget for your man cave, what does that mean to you? Am I saying have a super specific list or just have a rough idea? It's going to depend. It's going to depend on you and what you are looking to get out of your man cave. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I think you should do when you are budgeting for your man cave is actually sit down, and this is before you're doing any building, anything like that. Sit down and think about the ideal man cave. What do you want in it? What are you looking to get out of it? I've had a couple other videos that talk about this. If I remember when I'm editing this video, I will link them in the cards. But what are you looking to get out of this space? Don't worry about the money right now. If you could build the best man cave you could, what would you do? What would you have in it? Have the ideas behind it, and just start writing them down. Get those. Think of it as projects. Groups of things you need to get that you're going to want to do. Things like you are going to want a hard floor. So think about what's going to go into it for a hard floor or hardwood floor. Things like that. The next is I want you to take those projects, break them down, and figure out what they're actually going to cost. This is going to look different for a lot of people. When I built my man cave from scratch, this is something that I really struggled with. So I ended up designing a spreadsheet, which basically you put in everything you want. You can break it down into projects. You put the price, and it automatically makes a budget sheet for you. It's broken down by projects. I've called this the man cave budget sheet. There's probably the man cave budget tool. There's probably a better name for it out there, but that's what it is. And so if you're interested in that for this process, click on the link in the description. Completely free for now. I just want feedback to see what people think about it. My goal is to help people. I'm not here to make money. I'd be doing a lot of other things if I was trying to make money, right? But give me some feedback. How can it be more useful to you? But all right, I'm going to get off of that. But so if you're using that, you're going to go through, you have your projects. In each project, break them down into what you are going to want, what you're going to need to do that project. So I said, hardwood flooring. You're going to need the hardwood floor and the flooring. But then, are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to pay someone to do it? If you're going to do it yourself, you're going to need things. You're going to need a couple tools. You're going to need the insulation pad/sheet to go underneath the floor. You're going to need, different types of saws, different types of equipment. Those cost money, obviously. So if you go and look in the description what I'm talking about, my budget tool, I gave some suggestions that I suggest you go with. You can get whatever the heck you want, but it kind of gives you a starting point to look for how much things are going to cost. So after you do that, be as thorough as possible. At the very end of this process, if you have all of the different costs in there, you go onto the second page of my spreadsheet. It'll show you what or how much it's going to cost to completely build your man cave. Of course, there's going to be some room for error, right? There's going to be certain things that you forgot, certain things you ended up not needing, or you changed your mind on certain things. But it's a good estimate, and it's better than just a ballpark. And you could just go to someone and say you need these things, and they'll be able to help you out, or you just buy them online. So after that, what does that number look like for you? At the beginning of this process, you probably had a number in your head that you're trying to hit. Um, is that number far off from that initial number? Check back to it. If the number that you end up with at the end of this process is a lot higher than you're looking to spend, start finding ways to cut costs. So instead of hardwood, you're going to be looking at laminate wood flooring, much cheaper. I have the whole article on that. Uh, but look for ways to cut costs. Maybe you don't use that pool table. Maybe instead of a real leather couch, which you found which you really liked, you're gonna go with a faux leather couch, and you're gonna save a lot of money on that. Um, but at the end of the day, what the whole thing with budgeting is to give you a plan, to have a plan to go with, kind of reduce the amount of surprises you're gonna see. There's still gonna be surprises. You're still gonna. I did it. Drill through something by accident and you got to go buy a new one, or you bought too much of something and you can't return it, so then you're just stuck with it. That's just the way it is. So once you've reworked the numbers and brought them back to and checked back in with the original number you're thinking, or you're under budget and you're satisfied with that, bam, you're good. Your budget process is done, and the next step is to actually start buying those things and putting them into work. And I'll have a link in the cards for my step-by-step process for building a man cave from scratch, because there are a lot of steps. But this budgeting process, for me, again, I'm interested to hear what you think, but for me, the budgeting process was the most boring part, the hardest part. I just kept getting frustrated with it. But hey, maybe that's just me, the way my brain works. But again, so I have been Derek from mancaveretreat.com. I'd really appreciate if you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a bunch of articles on mancaveretreat.com if this stuff is interesting to you. If you have specific questions or suggestions for content in the future, either you can reach out to me, I have a contact form on that website, or just put it in the comments. I'm hanging out in the comments all the time. I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, until next time.